Brian, we're here to talk about the upcoming Under-17 Euros. First off, congratulations to you, your staff and the boys for making it. You must be really looking forward to it.
Yes, I am now. The squad's been announced. Really challenging making a squad. I don't enjoy that at the moment at all, because you pick a group of players which is great, but there's also a group of players that you've left out who could possibly have been there. So the squad announcement's always challenging, but now we've got the squad announced. We know who's going. Now I just can't wait to get on the plane and go over to Israel and just, give the players a first experience of a major tournament.
We'll talk about the boys who are going, but I think it's only right we mention someone who isn't, who played such a big part in the qualifying process. Ben Doak, obviously disappointed that injuries ruled him out.
Yeah, I'm disappointed. Disappointed for all the players that he's not there, but obviously more important, I'm really disappointed for Ben. He's been fantastic for me. First time I really got to know him was in June when we went down in Inverclyde at a training camp. He walked in, he was the best trainer on the pitch that day. He just had an unbelievable attitude to become better, and then that just continued in every training session, every meeting, and ultimately he performed on the big stage on the games. So he's been fantastic. Fantastic for me, fantastic for the team, but more important, fantastic for himself. Unfortunately, football, has got this way of always hurting you, and in his case, he's got an injury. The injuries unfortunately ruled him out, but I know for a fact, and having spoken to him earlier, he'll be there cheering the boys on. And like I said, this whole idea under 17 is to become better, and there is no doubt, and he believes this as well. Over the last few months, his game's developed to another level, and that will continue.
What are you hoping for from the trip to Israel? I mean, it's easy to talk about results and progression in the tournament, but you've always looked at the bigger picture.
Yes, I think since I came out of the Scottish FA, I've never really changed. For me, my job is about developing players. It doesn't matter if you're 12-year-old in the performance schools or if you're 16 or 15 for some of these players. In the under-17 camp, it's all about players. So when we go onto the pitch against Portugal in our first game, it'll be the same. We'll go out, we'll try and play our normal style. We'll try and go and dominate the game, and we'll try and play a game which will challenge our own players, but ultimately it'll make them better football players. And the whole thing for me, the whole experience, the whole time being away again in the last 8 months has been quite simple. It's about trying to make every young player better by the time they leave our campaign, and hopefully whatever they learn during the last 6-7 months, they've got to maintain that. And then they've got to go back to the training ground now at their clubs, and they've got to be the hardest trainers at their clubs. And they've got to keep progressing, and they've got to maximise the potential that they've all got.
We were talking off camera about, Billy Gilmore talks a lot about how much he took from the Toulon tournament experience in terms of being overseas, exposed to different styles of football, and even just that, I suppose, that tournament format between playing, recovering, being in a hotel. It's a great opportunity for the boys, isn't it, to be exposed to something completely different?
And that's the thing, I think the greatest part of international football is the challenge that the young players will face. The clubs can't give them that challenge. The clubs can go on trips abroad and it's great and it's a fantastic experience, but it's the club via another club. When you go away with the Scotland, you're taking the best players from whatever club and the best players from that club and the best players from this club, and then you put them all together, and it's an experience like no other. When you go to this major championship, again, it goes to another level. Even in a hotel, you'll have 8 teams in the hotel, and they'll say we'll all be walking about the hotel. Everyone's looking at each other. Everyone's thinking, am I better than you, or is he better than me? And it's invaluable. You just can't buy it. And the great thing about these tournaments, you do know that the players walking about that hotel, you do know that in a couple of years they'll be playing in the Champions League. They'll be playing in international squads, and in a few years from now they will be the best players in Europe. And the players walking about the hotel know that, and I just hope. And I do believe that the ones in Scotland jerseys, that's what they've got to have. They've got to have that mentality that I'm going to be the one. I'm going to train for it. I'm going to develop. I'm going to maximise. So in 2, 3, 4 years from now, I'm the one in the Champions League. I'm the one in the A squad. And I'm the one that everyone's saying, I've seen him in that hotel. So it's just brilliant experience for these young players. It really, really is, on and off the pitch. Your
day-to-day role sees you head up the Scottish FA JD Performance School programme. You must be heartened to see 11 of the graduates make the squad.
Yeah.
I know everyone has their own path to get to a Scotland squad, but from a selfish perspective, from your point of view, it must be great to see them in.
Look, we've started that programme in 2012. success, I think, has been there in terms of development of players. I'm more than happy for the staff that's involved. The staff work incredibly hard. We can't promise anything, we can't do guarantees when kids come in at 12, apart from the fact that we care. And we've always said that, but when you go to a squad like this, you see there's 12 players in the squad, it's really, really happening for the staff. And it's also happening for myself, knowing that the programme that we've put in place, short-term success is good. Long-term success needs to be the Billy Gilmores and Nathan Parsons. And I say long-term, that's medium-term. But it really is happening for all the staff, happening for me. But you're right, you know, the pathways are all different for these young players. How you get into a Scotland squad is different from everyone. How you maintain it and stay in a Scotland squad is similar for everyone. How you maintain it and stay in it is the same. You've got to be the best trainers, you've got to be this mentality, this ambition. That's the same for everyone. And like I said, hopefully now, and it has been shown over the last few years, there's more than one coming with that and there's more than one maintaining it. And let's hope that continues.
Finally, just give us an insight into what it's like preparing for a tournament like this, because there's a lot to deal with that maybe from the outside you wouldn't expect. Talk us through even the boys that have got exams to sit when they're out in Israel.
Yeah, I'm very thankful that I've got fantastic staff here. It's not me. But yeah, I think the biggest challenge on this trip is this: no matter when, whatever age you are, and you go to this tournament or whatever year you're in, there's always, the exams will always fall in that period, just always does. So for us, we've got 2 players that's got an exam every single day we're away. So the whole organisation around that is immense, it's huge. You know, what time will they sit their exam at, where they need to go to sit their exam. Forget about football, because at this moment in time it's not about football for these young players, it's about their education. So we've got 2 every single day. We've got some players that have got exams, 2 exams on the day of a game. Again, we'll look at that as a group of staff and we'll talk to the young person. There's every chance they won't be available for that game, because once again, I'll go back to it, the person's more important, education is more important. And if they've got to miss games because of that, then that's what we will do. But it really is a huge organisation that get them there, that makes it smooth. And like I said, ultimately, we're talking about the team. I'm talking about the team doing well, I'm talking about individual players doing well. But the 2 biggest things are the experience for the players. They've got to love it and they've got to want to come back. And then for these other players, education's huge. So it's really, really important that they get the time that they need. And that might mean no training sessions for them when they're away because they're studying. If that's what we've got to do, that's what we've got to do. But that's a whole staff. The whole staff organise that, that's not me. And I'm really, really thankful. And I think the players are as well, that they always get that care and support from their staff.
Listen, thanks Brian, and good luck when the games come.
Thank you.